Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday. Sunday. As you know, Sunday is time for our group chat.
You sound like you're announcing the big event.
I am. It is a big event.
Echo.
It is. We all
One
need
of those
big events right
mics
now, right?
that come down from the ceiling.
That we can contribute to. Hey, Nick Sweetman, how's it going, Nick?
Well, look at that. We're getting our coffee.
Yeah, so just wanted to say, first of all, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Whether you're a doggy daddy or a cat daddy or a people daddy.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day.
Yep. And I gotta say, lately, with everyone, including all the kids and everyone staying home, I know it's been like super dad time for dads.
Yep.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really... I feel like you probably got your hands full, so have a great day today.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers to you. So somebody asked what Logan got us for Father's Day, but
okay.
hair on my t-shirt.
Sorry you asked for it, but I'm gonna go pretty cartoony here. A really good snuggle.
He did.
All right.
He did.
Yeah, he was into it.
He's into those in general.
He was.
Like
He was like, you will pay attention to me now, and everything stopped.
Yes, lots of kisses. That's for sure.
Yep. He'll be back later.
He will be back.
He's hanging out. I think he has a few meetings.
Yeah, he has a few Zoom meetings in the back.
Yeah, has to dream about squirrels. Do this in his sleep.
Oh my goodness.
So how are we doing this morning, Flynn?
We're doing good. Should we get started?
I think we should.
Yes.
We have a lot of stuff. Well, it's not a lot of stuff. It's sort of a relaxing brunch hangout day.
Yeah.
Because we're on Sunday with friends, right?
Yes, exactly. And we have our regular guests here today.
I know, I'm so psyched.
And we have an interesting topic to talk about. But
Yep.
let's go ahead and kick off with Disney pins.
All right.
Hey, Michelle, welcome.
You got that? Oh, here. I'm going to cover up our faces. Look at that.
Yeah,
You can't see us, and it'll
So
focus.
it's Mickey.
Look at that. That is...
Ta-da.
Oh, it worked.
It's Mickey. It's black and red. And I picked it because it went with my outfit today. Which, if you know the movie Creepshow, I'm actually wearing my Father's Day shirt. But that's a whole nother story for another time.
I want my cake. What did I do here? I'm pulling cables. I'm going to try this for mine. We'll get a better card for this, but I think the hands over the screen are really terrible.
Well,
so I'm going to try. Here's my pin. Whoa, where'd he go?
There you go.
Mike!
Yay, it's Mike.
It's Mike Wachowski.
And now it's a robot with Mike.
You know, I think Ms. Hand might do those demonstrations.
Ms.
better.
Hand?
Ms. Hand.
Ms.
Thing? Oh my goodness! You know what? It's been too long since Ms. Thing has been here. It obviously is. Lest we forget the early days when this down camera up here couldn't stop autofocusing. She saved us.
She did.
And I just called her Ms. Hand.
Well, she's
oh my goodness!
She's not happy with you.
We were talking about her actually. She's going to have new life and a new role.
Yeah, she is. She
Right?
actually is going to have. She does have a new role. She's actually now going to be heavily involved in viewer mail time.
It's true.
So
it's true.
That's exciting.
She'll have a hand in that. She'll get right to the point.
Oh my goodness! Where did the ring and bracelets go? Well, Richard just pulled her in from off stage. She wasn't costumed yet. Just like she wasn't even ready.
I couldn't find her. We have a bunch of dots bracelets around. We'll get that going on. I think she needs a more Joan Jett kind of thing going on.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean she's a little QVC. You remember QVC?
I do.
And it would just show up, and you were like, "How come I'm on QVC, and how long have I been here?"
Yes, Ms. Thing is her stage name. It's true.
Yeah.
So actually, he wasn't technically wrong.
Oh my goodness! But see, we're going to bring you new features, new exciting things. We're changing up old ones. As a reminder, when it comes to sticker time, we're inviting you to share your stickers.
Yeah, so if you want to
well.
email us with a sticker
Yep.
set that you like, we will show it. So actually, real quick, before we get, we're already 10 minutes in and we haven't even said hello to everyone.
I know, I'm all over the place.
Which I'm sure it's, big now. So, hey, Blackjack is here, Brickanista, hey, Naomi, Cornado, how's it going?
A new name.
Oh, Deputy Chef Bricks, but then he fell off, but he's here. Holly is here, Hooded One, Insane Lego Fan, Johnny Cat, hello. Lego Bricks and Tips, Lisa Head, Michelle Hainline, welcome. Moto is here, Nick
Moto.
Sweetman, Remy Baker. Nick, by the way, your new setup for the new minifigures are amazing. Just gotta say. Remy Baker is here. How's it going? Shane Levin, Stud Sidious, Thomas Wheaton is here. Wilfred, bonsoir, and Zonker is here. Zonker Harris, how's it going, Zonker? Welcome. So, yeah, good to see everybody hanging out in the chat, and also, Lino and Lorraine are here. How's it going? Welcome. And, how fun. This is great.
Yeah, and people on Facebook, too. Welcome to everyone on Facebook.
Yeah, everybody on Facebook and everybody on YouTube who just, it doesn't necessarily join the chat, but watches the show.
Not everyone types, but we hope you have a great time, and if you don't want to chat and you want to let us know something or ask us something, send us an email.
Yeah, absolutely. You can send us an email, flynn@trickybricks.com.
Yep.
So real quick, let's talk about, really fast, let's just blaze through our challenge for this week is a microscale challenge. So you are challenged to build something in microscale, whatever that is to you, build it in microscale. A 16 by 16 plate is the largest that it can be. And make sure you'll have those done Thursday. For the challenge, and you'll send me the pictures. You know the drill at this point.
And as a reminder, microscale is very small, abstracts out the details. Microscale bus.
Yep. So, height limit, no. Just remember that you want to get a good picture. Like we want to be able to see the details. And let's see. The other announcement is we are doing a rebrick challenge where we are going to be putting together, everybody's going to get a copy of the Street Sweeper, the Lego City Street Sweeper.
Yep.
And you are going to build something only using the bricks in the set.
Yep, maybe a plate. If you want to use a base plate, you can use that, and you can add minifigures to help your story.
Yes, and if for some reason you cannot afford the set, please email me. It's still not too late. Email through the generosity of some of our viewers and viewers like you. Yep. And we are able to provide sets to people that don't have a copy that want to participate. So please.
Should we say by midnight tonight? Because we got to order them and have them shipped and all that.
Well, luckily I think Amazon will do it quick. But yes, like tonight would be great if you could.
Yep.
All right, so I wanted to do real quick. I want to invite our guests in because I know one of our guests can only be here for a few minutes. So I want to make sure. So everybody, please welcome to the stream. We have Moto, we have Kara, Minifig Chick, and Boone. Boone is here.
Hey.
How's it going, Boone?
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
That's so awesome, you guys.
Hey, Kara.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to our Lego dads. I'm hoping.
Aww.
That's so cute.
That's awesome.
Let me see if I can get. I'm gonna mute myself so I can holler and see if they can bring me the thing.
I got some viewer mail today.
Oh, very nice.
That's awesome.
That's great. Right on. How are you doing, Kara? You've got a Lego dad in your house. Oh, and you're wearing. Very good.
Awesome.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
We can hear you.
Every time I get a new meeting, the settings change, right?
Yeah. We know every time.
There's something blocking the camera on your right hand side, just a little bit.
Yeah, Kara.
There
the little
is.
dark spot on the edge.
A little
there we
vignette.
go.
All better.
Got it.
Yeah, you were vignetted in there.
Tech difficulties, bingo.
You also have a soft sort of merchant ivory.
Yes.
This morning.
Hi.
Oh.
This was the card that she made me.
Oh,
my God.
Yoda
yes.
best dad.
Oh, yes. Hang on, I gotta get this.
And
Oh.
That's awesome.
That is so good. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
How is everybody?
Good. How are you doing today, this fine Father's Day?
I'm doing well. I feel like yesterday was really nice.
Yeah.
I
know
agree.
it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't nice for everyone in the world, and so we'll remember those. But I had a good day. So yeah.
Good.
Flynn, are you growing a beard?
No,
No.
I'm just lazy. Well, so now that I'm teaching classes again, I'm back on like camera basically 7 days a week, pretty much.
Oh.
So I'm choosing like on the weekends, since we're so casual here on
Yeah.
Sundays, I figured it was okay if I just didn't shave, and I'll
Right.
shave tomorrow morning so that I'm fresh for the week.
Right, because he's spooky Mr. Rogers all week.
Exactly.
I will say this. Yesterday it was just my son and I. We went up into the mountains, and I found some quartz crystals with him,
Oh, very nice.
which was amazing. I'd never found the crystals before. We'd been looking 3 or 4 times, but never found anything. But yesterday it just
Wow.
happened to come true.
That's great.
That's so cool.
I gotta say, looking
Wow.
for rocks with my dad when I was a little kid was one of my favorite memories growing up with him. Like, there's a mine way over there. What an adventure.
Yeah, so hopefully that will be one of my son's memories, is going out, finding cool things.
Yeah.
That's so awesome, Moto. Right on. So
Do you
you
guys remember, Flynn and Richard, do you remember meeting Chad and Topher at Bricks Cascade?
Bricks Cascade.
Yeah, they just got married, right?
They just got married yesterday.
Yes.
Their best man thought it would be so. Okay, there were like 13 people at this wedding. It was a backyard wedding. We were all sitting like 6 feet apart. They did not invite me. Their best man thought it would be a fun surprise if I showed up to this incredibly intimate, very, very, very small wedding ceremony.
Yeah.
And so I came at the invitation of their best man. It was so lovely. We had such a wonderful time. I got the impression that everyone was pleased that I was there.
That's good.
And I had the incredible pleasure of singing them their first dance.
That's so
hooray.
awesome. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that was the hi Holly.
Hi, Holly.
Hi,
welcome.
Holly.
Hi, Holly.
That was sort of like the height of the goodness that I experienced yesterday. So, and they have an incredible Lego collection in their home, and it's just so well kind of curated. It's like everywhere there are shelves that have Lego on them, but they've done such a great job of sort of mixing up the themes, and so you get just these really nice looking arrangements of the kits that they've built.
That's
must be
so cool.
Good dusters,
Well,
right?
I do have a story about them. But real quick, we do have a question in the chat. What
Yeah.
song did you sing?
I sang Unchained Melody.
Yes.
It was a song that I felt like I met them at Bricks Cascade, so I don't know them very well, so I wasn't sure about like what their musical tastes would be, and they played 2 songs in the wedding, and I felt like Unchained Melody was fairly safe. I didn't feel like there was anything about it that someone might hate. I'm sure there are people out there that do hate that song, but
Not me.
But anyway, so I didn't feel like it was I was kind of thinking through the lyrics of the song, and I felt like it was a pretty inclusive song, like it could be sung at anyone's wedding, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the Venn diagram of songs that might work for a wedding and this particular wedding, and songs that I know all the words to, off.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram is very, very small.
Helped make your decision for you.
Well, that's so awesome, Boone. I can't tell you. I wish you could have sung at our wedding. That would have been amazing. If we had known each other then. But
We also had lovely singers.
we
at our
did.
wedding.
We had wonderful band. We had so many friends and who played and sang, and it was really great. It would have been fun to have you there too. But you know, we're celebrating our 10-year in less than a month,
Congratulations.
which is crazy.
you.
But
Boone, I'm wondering, just real quick, were they surprised?
They were surprised. You know, they were in the frenzy. When I arrived, everybody was in the frenzy of, you know, we're in the last 30 minutes of pulling this thing together. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah.
as like a backyard wedding. And so it wasn't like Publishers Clearinghouse. It was more like, oh my gosh, can't believe this. So glad you're here. What an awesome surprise. And we're all still doing 10 things every 30 seconds.
sure.
Another
yes.
amazing thing on an amazing one-of-a-kind day.
So, you know, Topher is actually responsible for one of our 2 webcams that we have. When we were very, very first starting out, I had asked people like on Facebook, like what would be a good webcam to get, because at the time we had just started all the lockdown stuff, and everyone was out of them because everybody was still excited about Zoom then, and everybody was starting a web show then, so they were impossible to find. And I was like, what would be a good thing to? And he messaged me and was like, hey, I have this one and I'm not using. Do you want it? And it was and he sent it, and I remember and he sent some candy with it, and it was right when everything first started, and we were like, how are we gonna get through this? And I was like, oh, candy and a camera. So yeah, he is actually partially responsible for what you're all of this, which is really
That's
cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting story. I'll just tell this and then I'll be done talking because I can't stay long, and I realize that I've already monopolized the entire beginning of the.
That's okay.
We're happy to see you.
But I did not meet them before Bricks Cascade. I had no idea who they were. They showed up at Bricks Cascade to meet all of us.
Yeah.
Because they're huge fans of the Lego product. They've been collecting and building for years. And they're both very into it. And of course, they must have been engaged at that point in time. And they came out to the show and they met us, and I just had a great time talking with them. And I think I invited them to our panel, the Lego Masters.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
What I didn't realize is that, I mean, they seemed like such huge Lego fans that it didn't even occur to me that they were not convention attendees. They were just public attendees.
Oh, got it.
Right.
They came and they were able to get into the panel, and they were the only people from the public that got into the panel.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And so then I'm like, well, you guys have got to connect with the lug, and then of course there has never been another in-person lug meeting.
Right.
I don't know if they've been going to the virtual ones or not, because I haven't. But they came to one of my Lego Masters viewing parties out here in East County, and every experience I've had with those 2 guys has been wonderful. So I hope that when all of this settles down and we get to start getting together as a club again, I'm really hopeful that they'll be engaged, because I want more of them in my life. But
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, they are good people. That's so awesome. How fun that you did. I saw on Facebook that they had gotten married, but I did not know. This is so great. We got a whole nother angle to the story. That's great. And how funny how connected this all is, right? Like we met them,
it's so wild.
camera, you, the wedding, like it's really well. We say it all the time that Bricks Cascade was magic. Like I don't know that if it will ever be able to be repeated, like that thing that happened at Bricks Cascade. It was like a once in a lifetime thing. It was great.
Right.
Amazing. And so glad that we got to do it before this all went crazy. So
Yep. And what a treat, Boone, to have like a highlight day, just like an Oasis super extra nice day in the midst of, like, we're all making it through, right? And we have highs and lows, at least, you know, we do. But
Yeah.
how nice to just be able to say that was a shining day.
Yeah.
all right.
Lovely.
Hey, do you have a pin you want to show? Excuse me, a sticker you want to show while you're here?
Oh, is it that time?
Well, I'm just thinking as long as Boone is here, he said he was going to have to go early is the only reason.
Yeah, I think he's
It
gonna.
is time.
It is time.
It's time. Well, Kara, you have a sticker, don't you?
Okay, well, hang on. I gotta do the. We have to
Okay.
do this official here.
Okay.
You always have to have the official opening, credits there.
Yep.
Do you have something, Boom, before you go?
Well, let Kara go. And
Okay, I'll let Kara go. Sounds good. Okay, Kara, what have you got for us?
So I have a sticker set from 10261, the roller coaster.
Ooh.
There's no photography, no drinks, no babies, no popsicles, no dogs, but apparently tornadoes are okay.
What?
That's great.
That's so funny.
You must be this tall.
Anyway,
That's
it's just a couple other fun stickers that are great for.
that is hilarious.
I like it. We haven't put ours together yet.
Yeah.
It's sitting in the
No,
laundry
we don't have any
room.
room for it. My
We
goodness.
haven't either, obviously.
Awesome.
Oh, and note the sticker at the top.
Do not stand up. Very good.
And what is this bird?
The duck.
Attacking?
Okay, I think that made it. I don't know, but is that a joke on when Fabio got hit in the face with a duck when he was going down that roller coaster? That is a thing that happened, you know.
It was.
I wonder if that is a joke on that. Now I want to. Can we find that out, Holly? You must know someone who knows somebody that did something about that.
I can do the Google.
All right.
I just heard for the first time the other day. I was at a home improvement store,
What?
and
We'll just watch.
right here in Troutdale, and like the people in front of me in line recognized me and were talking to me, and the cashier or checker, whatever you call those lovely people, they recognized that the people in front of me recognized me, but she did not recognize me, and so she said, why do they know who you are? And I said, oh, I was on this show for a while. And then she was like, oh, and then she said, you know, sometimes Fabio will come in here. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. She's like, he apparently has a house up in sort of the town that is like a distance away from here on the way up the mountain is called Sandy. And apparently he's got some big house up in Sandy on the way up to the mountain, so maybe he likes skiing or something. And she says that he'll come down here to go to the hardware store, you know, for certain like home improvement projects. And she said he still looks amazing. And so when she got, you know, all the way up to the he still looks amazing, I was like, okay, is she talking about Fabio or is she talking about someone who looks like Fabio?
Whoa.
And when she said he still looks amazing, that indicated to me that at least she believes Fabio, the actual Fabio, comes into the home improvement store over here.
I want to see him.
I have to interrupt. A few people on the chat are saying that it's really hard to hear most of the guests. So maybe.
Yeah, I noticed that too before I logged in. That it was
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, all my volumes are turned up all the way to the very top, so I'm not quite sure what I can do about that.
Can you turn your mic down a little bit so then maybe people can just turn their volume up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Our show's pretty low.
Yeah, we try and keep things pretty low. But anyway, let's take, while we're figuring that out, let's look at Boone's stickers since I know he has to go.
This is the stickers from the Penguin. Man, it's not gonna focus. From Penguin's like Batman movie Roadster. I don't know what the name of the set is, but I just love sticker sheets. I know this is totally tiny. This is not nearly as exciting as Cara's sticker sheet, but I just love stickers that, you know, these are just kind of some grates, and here's like, you know, some grills that would spread across like a 2x4 tile, and then this is literally just like some like rivets at the edge of like a panel or something like that, and just how versatile those types of things are. You know, any piece of machinery or spacecraft or you know, sort of like vehicle could be made to look just a little bit cooler with those types of stickers. And it's got this neat little kind of old-fashioned looking Dash Instruments sticker there, and then of course the two high flyer license plates that are kind of fancy. And I'm sorry this won't focus on that because it's great. So anyway, there you go. That's the one I found that I've just and I almost all of my sticker sheets are going to include some kind of just like, you know, grates or grills or gauges or like caution striping. That's tends to be the kind of stuff I collect when I pick up extra sticker sheets.
Do you collect stickers that aren't in sets?
Naomi wants to know what is the number of the sticker set? Can you type it in the chat or read it out?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm just in Zoom, so I don't have the chat open that everyone else can see.
Okay, if you read it out,
I'll read it out. There we go. It is, well, let's see. Is it just the 5-digit number or the?
You need the whole thing with the slash.
I can see it on the back.
Yeah, I can see on the back.
Oh, look at that. 70911. No, 70911 is
the set.
The set number.
Yeah,
So
when I enter ours, I use the whole one with the slash.
Okay, great. So it's 30715/6177272. You want me to give you that again?
Wilfred says it's the Penguin's car sticker set.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Got
didn't
it.
know what it was called. I knew it was the Penguin's car.
Yeah.
I just didn't know the name of the set.
Yeah.
Hey, on that note, I love you all. You're awesome. I have to go. I'm sorry I can't stick around. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and to everyone else.
Happy Father's Day to you, Boone. Thank you so much.
Go be a father. Have a good one.
All right.
Nice to
Thanks a
see
lot.
you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Say
it.
hi to your family for us.
Yes, please.
Absolutely, will do.
All right.
Everyone, say hi to your families. Thank you. Thanks
Bye.
for having me. Sorry I talked the entire time.
That's fine. They see us all the time. They're probably glad to hear anybody else talking.
And
With stories
speaking
like
of
that, how could we not just keep going?
anybody else, how about Moto? Do you have stickers?
I do. So I have a rare intersection of the topic, which is buying Lego and stickers and Father's Day.
All right.
So my wife bought Lego at a thrift store for $8, and she said, "Was it a good deal?"
Whoa!
Sock with camel.
What? Oh my goodness!
So I built the sock with camel. I fully restored it, and I put it in my son's room. And he rated my entire sticker and printed brick tile collection when he was 6, and he completely plated the whole darn thing with every single printed tile and sticker that he could find. And after he did that, I mean, I could have chosen to be angry, but it's so cool that I've left it.
That's so
So
awesome.
the deal is, if I ever need one of these stickers or one of these tiles or plates, I if I'm looking for one, I look at this model first before going to it. But our arrangement is I have to go into the stockpile and replace it with one of his choosing. So I can't tell you how many sticker sheets or printed pieces are on this thing.
Wow.
But it's significant.
Yeah. That's so good.
So this is a father-son collab unintentional. It has stickers, and it also has a concept I'll talk about, which is buying bulk Lego at a thrift store.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Pretty amazing.
Awesome. Thanks, Moto.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow, that's like the sticker Smithsonian.
Exactly. All right, Holly, what you got?
Nice lighting today, Holly.
One thing I wasn't prepared with stickers because I don't know if you noticed, I had to move out of my Lego space because we've got construction going on down there. So I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just be on my computer. I don't need anything. So I didn't bring my stickers. But I did bring my I found my, since we moved, I couldn't find all my Disney pins. So I was really jealous of all the pens you guys were showing. And I finally found it. So I'll show one of my Disney pens instead.
Yay.
I love that, like, our taste in pens is so similar, of course. But here's my Tower of Terror pen.
Oh, yeah, hang on. I thought I did. Hold on. Spotlighting you. There you go.
Yay!
Very nice.
And it opens up with, like, a little a maniacal stitch.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
So cool. Oh, and it's not there anymore. That's so
awesome.
good. That's an excellent, excellent pin. I love those ones that move. They're so cool.
All I have on me, sorry.
No, that's great. No reason to apologize for showing us awesome stuff. By the way, maybe I mentioned it a moment ago, but nice lighting. It's like the girl in the pearl earring over there.
I know.
It's
wow,
nice. You're next to a window.
We've got Merchant Ivory, classic art, and then terrifying HD horror film.
I know. Maybe HD isn't always required.
No, I feel like I need to put. There is that Zoom thing where it says like touch up your appearance, and then suddenly you look, like 30 years younger, and your skin is like super smooth. If only we could use that all the time.
Suddenly you look like Enya or
like
RuPaul.
in the we did see a very funny comedy sketch show once where they were joking about how on Drag Race, whenever they show like the regular queens, they're always in like HD, but then when they show RuPaul, he's always got like, super, super soft focus filter.
Yeah, it's still Vaseline on the lens trick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But of course, on this show, whenever they would show RuPaul, it was blurred to the point where you couldn't even see. It was just like, a head with some hair. And that was about it. Oh my goodness. We saw that on some other shows recently too, where the whoever the lead actress is always has like the soft focus, but then whoever she's talking to doesn't, and it's extremely apparent in HD when you watch stuff like that.
Well, there's that old joke, right? Because they would put actual nets, like silk stocking nets, over the lens, and it's like, what did you use, an athletic sock?
I needed to use an athletic sock for me.
All right.
Okay. Well,
So we have stickers too. Yeah, we're kind of kings of soft focus now because we can't manage to focus our camera on things like, I did this for you, Moto.
Oh, okay, now I gotta take off the glasses and really look. That is the sticker sheet you used for my envelope.
yes.
Yeah, so I have two. This is 70666 Ninjago Golden Dragon, and it's a Legacy Ninjago set. So that's where your stickers came from.
Those are cool.
And then this little one here.
Weird thing is, I can't make us have like the spotlight video, but whatever.
That's okay. People see us all the time. So from 2008, this is the Easy Roadster. It's a cool little black and yellow car. It's a small sticker set. It's 7.5 by 10.5 studs. Little teensy car.
And
It's a racer.
I know someone who's here is going to be really excited that this friend came by to visit this morning. Finally came out of his hidden bat cave somewhere in our house. So yeah, he's about ready to take flight soon.
Holly will be happy.
Holly, did you appreciate that?
Yeah.
It was he was difficult to find. I'll just say that.
He was hiding.
I didn't know how you were such a huge Batman fan.
Nah, just a little.
Just-
Yeah, I know, man. I haven't built that one. Still in the box. I haven't built that one yet. That's the one that came with the flying monkeys, right? Or not the flying. Yeah, the flying monkeys.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Actually, my friend just went through a whole thing trying to get a hold of Dave. My friend Dave, who we talked about, just went through that trying to find one that wasn't $1 million, which is a great segue into our subject for the day. 40 minutes in is
I know
is where do you get all your bricks? So this is actually a question that we get a lot, especially when we first started streaming. And on Instagram especially, everybody's like, where do you get all your bricks? Where do you source your bricks? How do you get your bricks? And I noticed that, the same sort of couple of things come up over and over again, right? Like the typical ones I think everybody knows is obviously like the pick-a-brick wall at the Lego store, which is now not a thing.
For now, it may transform.
It has already transformed, actually. They will let you go in, and then you tell them what you want, and they scoop it for you.
Oh.
Which isn't quite the same, but hey, at least if you need, if you need a cup full of 1x1 studs that look like stars, then you can have them scoop them
that's
for
worthwhile.
you. So there's that, and then there's Bricklink, and those seem to be like the two that people seem to. Those are like sort of the two go-tos that everybody goes to.
I have another one
That's a good start.
I have another one that personally I find to be the best, most efficient method. And that is that I'm married to a man who does almost all of our purchasing for us, and things magically appear. I say, I'd like to have and they magically appear at the door, and I never see a price tag. I just have no idea how it happens at all. Because my Bricklink has been
that same luck.
fails.
Well,
Right?
Bricklink is notoriously difficult to navigate if you don't know what you're doing. But I just also wanted to put out there that those are not the only two things that are available. There's actually a huge amount of other ways to find brick sources.
eBay?
So eBay, Craigslist, going
that's
to
a huge one.
Yeah, Craigslist. Going to conventions is a big one because there's always vendors with bulk brick. I know there's BrickOwl, which is sort of like an alternate to Bricklink, which, if you don't know this already, and you probably do if you're here, is that Lego purchased Bricklink. So now Lego owns Bricklink. I don't think they make money off the purchases from people, but I just know they own the company. I really honestly don't know the ins and outs of all of that. And then, of course, you can even go further, and then there's people who do third-party stuff like Citizen Brick and Firestar Toys. Eclipse Graphics, who do stuff like that. So,
Crazy Bricks.
Crazy Bricks, and then there's like the Brick Arms, where they have different shaped arms if you are into third-party stuff. So, Michael, I know you actually did like a presentation on this subject. You sent me a whole thing. So, do you want to just give a sort of overview of how do you deal with your brick collection? Like, where do you get it from?
Yeah, I won't go through the presentation because it was for the Denver lug.
Right.
So it has very specific references for Denver area, but in general, some of my methods are dark and arcane. Okay, so I'm gonna give away a couple tips that are just for Tricky Lug, I would say. Okay.
Ooh.
So I live in the Denver area. Some of my references are going to be more around the urban areas, and so if you're very suburban or if you're kind of out there, they won't work. But I'll start with some of the ones that I do. One method is I don't do it, but some people have luck with Facebook Marketplace. That's also an alternative to eBay and Craigslist. Another one that people will not know about is if you're really into garage sales, there is Yard Sale Treasure Map. And Yard Sale Treasure Map is integrated with the yard sales or garage sales listings in Craigslist, and they put the listing right on the map for the day you want. And you can filter by keywords. So if you filter by Bionicle or Lego or Legos, a lot of people just still, they do Legos, it will start to sort by distance from your house. So early in the day, if you really like garage sales, you can get there before they're purchased.
Did you write that down?
Yeah,
Yes.
we just wrote that down.
Yeah, Yard Sale Treasure Map.
Early in the day.
Yeah, he lost me early in the day.
Right?
Yep.
That's-
So
Yeah.
you have to understand the rules of garage sales, which is
Get there
they'll
early.
have the start time of opening, and you do want to get there relatively early because Lego will sell very quickly at a garage sale. It's just going to happen if they're at a decent price.
So I see. I just wanted to touch on something real quick, Moto. Johnny Cat in the chat was asking about what's a good price to pay for bulk Lego, and I would say what I always see is about $10 to $12 at like a meeting or a convention. But if you go onto Craigslist,
a pound, right?
A pound, sorry, yes. But if you go onto Craigslist, you can usually find it for a lot less than that. But the difference there, of course, is if you're buying something off of Craigslist, you're getting what you're getting. The $10 to $12 ones, at least in the old days, you just went in and you picked whatever you want, and so you had a much more curated collection in the end.
So I'll stop for a minute. So the economics of it are, if you look at sets and you get your Lego from sets, it's around 10 cents US per piece, per element, roughly. If you want to be economical about it, you'd always want to buy the larger sets simply because there is a cost of the boxes and the designing and all that. So you get more brick with a larger set for a slightly lower average. From that, if you do belong to a lug or you have a group of friends, you can do what's called a draft. And we've talked about this in the past, right? Which is where everybody buys the same set, and then everybody parts the thing out into cups, and then you do a random number draw out of a hat, and then everybody cycles through in numbered order, and you get to pick the element that you want until all the pieces are gone. Some people include manuals, and they do the figs a little differently, or the stickers. But yeah, a draft is a lug thing that can help you if you're really into stuff. Another great method I would say that people forget about is they miss out on thrift stores. So what I've found is I do most of my stuff I purchase at thrift stores. It's just a way to save money. But I've realized that, and I'm going to set Goodwill aside, okay? I'm going to have a Goodwill discussion next. Okay, take Goodwill out of the equation if you're here in the U.S. But if you have any thrift stores in your area, people will donate Lego in a bin to the thrift store. They don't think about selling it or reselling it.
Yeah.
And the thrift stores will generally highly underprice them because they don't know, they just put it in the toy area, and usually there's a bin there. What I've done is I've gotten to know a thrift store in the area. Here's just an example. If you talk to the people as they're stocking the shelves, you'll say, hey, do you have any Lego in back? I'll just take it. And if you can price it right, I'll take it. They either say yes or no, but if they say no, sometimes you can always say, hey, when you get Lego, do you just hold it and then put it out right away? Or, which section of the store could I find it? And I found out that one store would always drop their Lego at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday. So you can bet I was there.
That is some serious research, Moto.
Yes, you can get a sense of the time if you just get to know thrift store employees.
Yeah.
They really, for one, they really appreciate it that you're like, hey, you guys work here, and I really like your store.
Yeah.
And they'll go out of their way to kind of help you out in some cases. So that's another tactic. In the thrift store I know, there's another one here in town where they bundle it up, they weigh it, and basically it's $7 a pound.
Oh, that's cool.
20 to 30 pounds at a time.
Whew,
but what's cool is because it's always they crush it as it comes in, they wind up having like all the gray Star Wars is in a bag, and then you find the friendly one that's all the bright colors in a bag.
The friendly one.
And they don't care what minifigures are in there. So there's always Marvel, DC, some of these CMFs are mixed in.
Yeah.
A lot of city and town tends to be a thing. But that's how I grew my collection very quickly over 1 year at a very low cost. It's poundage, and after that you're doing a lot of sorting.
I want to go to your thrift stores.
Right? I know.
And by the way, I do thrifting as a service. So if anybody, wants 20 to 30 pounds of Lego and they're willing to compensate me, I will.
No, we don't.
You tell me what type of Lego you like. I will box it up and I will ship it to you because it's just so easy at this thrift store to walk in and go, yeah, I'll take the gray one, or I see railroad track and I'll I'll take that or whatever.
Holy cow.
You know, I've stopped doing it. I had a box over here I was going to show off of my last time I ever bought it.
Okay, let's go. I want to hear from Holly and Cara real quick, and then we'll come back around. So, Holly, I noticed that you said in the chat that the thrift stores aren't as good where you are. So I'm interested.
I mean, I'm not that diligent about it. Maybe I'm just going about it all wrong. I occasionally try to go into thrift stores just to see what they have, and I don't think I've ever seen Lego in any of them. Or if it is, it's pretty small. It's really small bags of Lego parts. Nothing like really worth buying. But our thrift stores are. That's like that's kind of the like people shop at thrift stores in Portland more than they do like at Target. So I imagine that they probably get picked pretty clean.
Yeah.
I'll have to like see if I can find, now that we're on the outskirts of Portland, maybe I can have better luck. You know, maybe it's not as popular in the burbs.
I love thrifting when I travel.
Yeah, I find, I mean, at least where we are, that we are so
collector heavy.
Yeah, we're so collector. You know, people. We're in the Bay Area. Lots of tech people. Lots of people with lots of money. So the places around here, a lot of the thrift stores and things, have figured out what things are worth, and they, or at least what they think they're worth, and in some cases, it's way overpriced, like outrageously overpriced.
I've looked on, because I think there's been a couple of places I've looked online. Like even if you go to like Goodwill, like sometimes Goodwill will auction things and stuff like same thing. It's like the stuff is basically retail price at that point. It's not even worth bothering. And then the other thing is too that I don't really I don't really do secondhand bricks bulk as much anymore. I'm pretty specific. I'm more specific about. I'm trying to not hoard. I'm trying to like really cut down on the amount of just brick that I have lying around. So I'm a little bit more methodic in how I like what bricks I just order what I need when I need it, and that's been a little bit. It's helped my sanity.
Oh, good for you. We need to do that some.
So I know you have some. You said that you had some tips on Bricklink, but before you do that, I realized that we've been signaled that it is past Logan cookie time.
I know.
And I don't think anyone noticed because we were so excited talking about bricks. See how it is. So, all right, everybody, here we go. All right, here it is. Logan.
There.
Oh. There he is, making
There's the one. Hi.
His big appearance. Is that a Duplo dog?
It is a Belleville dog.
Oh, it's a Belleville
That's
dog.
awesome.
It's so
Look,
good.
Logan, look, see? Hi, good boy.
Oh, he's gonna have to. It's gonna be an extended Logan cookie time today.
I know. Ready? Good catch. Good catch. Okay, last one. Good boy.
Hooray! Hooray, Logan. I think Holly is getting Skittles, so maybe
Logan can just hang out.
No, he's done. He's like, I'm done.
He's on to squirrels now.
3 cookies and done. Like he's...
Yeah. It's actually, and I try to limit it, you know, so I break them up.
All right, guys.
Look who it is!
Logan, come on. Come here. Look,
who it
it's
is.
Skittles!
It's Skittles!
Yay, Skittles! It's the Muppet Dog.
He thinks there's more cookies.
Go ahead, Holly. You can give Skittles. Logan's already had his. He's like, I'm done.
Dead and gone.
Did Skittles get a cookie?
Yeah, she was outside playing with the neighbor dog.
Oh, okay. So she had to come in from her other show to make a special appearance. Awesome. All right. Yes,
Yay.
it is. That was Logan Cookie Time. Squirrel.
Squirrels
All
always
right.
win. Squirrel.
That is a thing now. Okay, Holly, back to you. Let's talk about your tips for Bricklink.
Tips for Bricklink. Okay. So it's hard to know without knowing like how much experience person already has with Bricklink. I know I was asking you earlier. Am I able to share my screen?
If so, it would happen from your end.
Yeah, try doing it, and if it doesn't work, I will look at my settings.
It says host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Okay. I'll look it up. I'm still like Zooming is still a little bit new to me, and because I think I told everybody I changed my classes, and now it's not really my account anymore. Yeah. So I just got to look in my settings. But anyway, please go ahead, and I will see what I can do. Whoops. Hi. See.
Because it gets hard to sort of explain without like showing people.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Because what people sort of miss it because there's certain features so like kind of hidden and buried on Bricklink's website. So there's basically ways to sort of filter parts. So I kind of learned the hard way that I was overpaying by a lot for certain parts that were harder to find, and I've kind of learned just through trial and error as I've been doing more digital designing that I can substitute those parts because now they have per request. It was like one of the top of my wish list things with the Bricklink developers that I was asking for more of a HUD, a heads-up display that sort of shows you if you've picked a part that's really pricey, that there's some indicators there, so you can avoid that a little bit easier now. But also when you go to make your wish list from Bricklink Studio, I don't know where I really need to start, but you design something in Bricklink Studio, and then you can hit a button that exports all those parts that you have in your design to Bricklink as like a wish list. Then you can go into your wish list, and you can start to kind of has like a wizard set up, so it searches for all those parts all over the world at all the different shops. But then there's also another tab where it lists all the parts in that want list, so you can uncheck certain parts that aren't coming up as often. So it kind of helps your wizard find the most parts at the best prices without those few little parts that are harder to find kind of messing up the algorithm.
Oh, that's smart.
And then you can go one step further, that when you're making your carts from, say there's like one shop that has 70% of your parts, you can like click on that and you can look at the whole list of parts and it'll tell you the price for each of those parts, and you can filter that by price. So then you can kind of scroll down to the bottom of your list and see if there's like one $15 part in there, and you can kind of like throw that out of the cart, and then it redoes the algorithm again. And so you can kind of build your carts that way so that you're not overpaying for any particular part.
Oh, that's so cool.
Without showing, it's really hard to explain, but there's ways to keep filtering and keep like stacking your cart so that you're buying efficiently.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that. I've just started using.
I Bricklink a lot, and everything she said is something that if you're showing it and it's a demo, it's really effective. And Bricklink could be its own entire stream.
Right. Yeah.
Real quick, can anybody tell Grandpa where the heck I can turn on screen sharing in Zoom? Because I've just looked at every single thing. There's even one that says share screen, and it doesn't say allow participants to share screen. Yeah. So I'm a little lost.
It might have been something you had to set before we started or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen people being able to do it before, but anyway, we will continue. I'll try and come back to.
You talked about how I sent you a presentation on buying. I have an entire presentation just on Bricklink and all the tactics I use.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's hear from Kara for a moment, and we'll do another round.
So yeah, I kind of shop sort of the opposite that Holly does, because I haven't used Studio yet, and so when I'm looking for parts, I'm usually looking for just like my husband needs 3 or 4 parts for a train, and I need 5 or 6 different parts for another build. And so what I'll do is I will usually go for, I'm like, in the parts that I really need to get next, what's the most expensive and hardest to come by? And I will start and try to find the best source for that. And then when I'm in a store, somebody's Bricklink store, then I always click on the in the menu at the top, there's something that says wish list or show wish list, and it will show you what items on your wish list are in that store.
Cool.
So I can kind of filter it out that way, because I know I'm going to be paying more for certain parts. I want to get the best price on the expensive, rarer parts, and I don't mind paying a little more for other parts that I might need, that it may be more expensive in this one store, but because I'm already getting parts a nice collection of parts that I really need, because I'm getting that rare part at a decent price, and of course because I'm paying for shipping. Like I said, I don't mind paying a little bit more for some pieces, because if I were to make another order from another store where I got a better price on those pieces, I'm still going to pay for shipping, and so it kind of balances out in the end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that made sense.
Shipping
I
shipping
built
is
almost an entire Emerald Express doing that. I had like my wish list of all the parts for the Emerald Express. So every time I make a Bricklink order, I would always, there's actually a few sets that I've been able to part together just from like putting other orders together, and over time I'll always check those wish lists to see if they have any of those parts too. And then
cool.
I finally got we built some of them. Yep.
Yeah.
We built the Santa Fe engines that same way, so.
Okay, I think I fixed it, Holly. See if you can do that now. I did.
I was going to say there are a couple of zingers in Bricklink that you should watch out for if you're really new getting started. So if you create a cart, definitely look at the terms of service and the shipping. Some stores will try to cover their labor costs of picking at the end of the cart process. So the price point for the elements may seem low, but if you look at, as you add elements, if you start to see the shipping or the packing charge increase, it's a buried cost that you may not realize it's being added to the cart. So just be diligent and try to create a couple of carts that are very similar, and check out your stores. And as you get to know some stores, like you can put favorite stores in there. There's 2 or 3 stores that I really rely on to have great service, super fast delivery, and a huge inventory.
Well,
Same. And I have to say, what I have noticed is that at least the stores here in the United States tend to be a little bit more expensive.
Yes.
We have, and of course, we have some really high cost of living areas. I mean, I live in one, right?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. So people obviously have to make a living, but most of my orders actually tend to come from Germany. And
yeah, there's better part selection too in Europe. I actually find that Canada has been consistently the most expensive.
Canada can be pretty expensive too.
Well, that's actually something I would like all of us, including Flynn, because you've helped me a lot understand this, is how to manage shipping. I mean, Bricklink is a major way that people obtain bricks, right? So you can pay so much for shipping. How do you all not, how do you manage that?
Well, I mean, I know for me, I just...
Sorry.
No, I know that for me, I just do... I just go on and I say... I find the place that has most of what I want, and then I look at how much the shipping's going to be, and usually they'll say in a description, like, it's going to be so much per pound or whatever. And I look at how much, and it will tell you how much it weighs. So, I mean, I'll look at like how much it weighs, and then I'll just start looking through that person's store for anything that I can find to get the price of it up to make it worth that shipping. And you can always find other stuff that you want. And if you can't, then it's time to go to somebody else's store.
A different store, yeah.
And maybe...
It took me way too long to get in the habit of reading the store's terms before I got a big cart going, because you can sometimes, like, sort of like Moto was saying too, they should spell out all the like handling fees and all that stuff in their terms. So if you read through the terms, sometimes it's like process of elimination. You can almost eliminate the store right off the front page. You say, you can look at the shipping costs and already know it's going to be too much, or if they're adding a crazy. Actually, the one that turns me off the most is the average price per piece is the one that kills me, because some people will have like this ridiculous dollar per price average that you almost cannot meet unless you were only buying like certain figures or something. And so there's been a couple of times where I have built a whole cart on parts, and then I see that average requirement, and there's no way I can meet it without adding like a ton of figures to balance it out, and I'm like, forget it. But I have seen a couple of stores that will let you override that also. Like if sometimes you can just contact them and let them know, and they're cool about it. But yeah, there's a lot of tricky things with it.
Well, so one thing I wanted to talk about is, and I bring it up because there was some confusion in the chat the other day about this. Now, I just got a Bricks and Pieces order, which I will just tease you with right now, but we will share that more.
Oh, Cara.
We will share that on Monday to talk a little bit about that. But there seems to be a big confusion between Pick-a-Brick and Bricks and Pieces. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between those two things. Now, these are ordering parts directly from Lego, and they are in fact two separate entities entirely. So Pick-a-Brick is the part of the Lego website that's just kind of like the Pick-a-Brick wall that you would find at the store. You can look for a piece, and we do need to come back when we're talking about Bricklink. We need to talk about the difference between Bricklink names of things and actual Lego names of things, because that's a whole thing. But anyway, so you can look at the parts they have available. You can look for specific parts. You know, maybe they'll have them, maybe they won't. Maybe the prices will be cheaper than Bricklink. Maybe they won't. Like, it's just it really depends on the piece.
Yeah.
Per piece.
Well, wasn't Moto saying that the two come from different warehouses? They're not even the same warehouse.
I think they're packed in a different way. But but I just
Okay.
real quickly. So Bricks and Pieces, however, is a different part a different part of the website, and you can Google find it by putting in Bricks and Pieces, not Pick-a-Brick. It's different. So what Bricks and Pieces allows you to do is basically a part replacement center. So the way that works is, instead of looking for an individual piece, which you can do, but what they want you to do is put the set in, and then they will send you back a list of every single part that's in that set, and you can say, oh, well, I was missing this one, or I was missing this one. However, they clearly don't have any problem with people ordering from it straight away, because I just ordered like 100 turquoise 1x1 bricks from them, and clearly there's no set that has 100 of those in it. And they didn't, but nobody said anything. You know, I got three baby elephants, you know, 3 anglerfish, 3 manta rays. Like, I mean, I put a little crown on him but there's but that's another really great way to find pieces that are more unusual that you will not.
I know other people do it, and for some reason I hesitate to do it. I have this like paranoia that I'm just gonna get like blacklisted or something.
There are a couple things that you won't find. So
Yeah.
They do. I think they have 100 element or 200 element limit to your order, and also I think anything that's IP related will not be in there.
Right.
So it has
Correct.
to fall under a Lego branded theme.
Yeah, so like when the Stranger Things set came out, we were able to get the brown branches and the blue branches, but we couldn't get the Demogorgon minifigure. Like, that just was not available. But I know that I stopped in real quick. If you remember Eric, who was on talking about minifigs, TrickyBricks, he gets a lot of his torsos and heads and things from the Bricks and Pieces website. But Moto, was it you that was telling us about the two things come from different places at Lego? Was that you?
No, I do know that the approach is very different. So I thought you meant the Pick-a-Brick wall, which to me is very different because you're getting K boxes at a very limited element assortment on the wall.
Well, there's that also, yes. So that's
having the entire everything in front of you, but you're right, the website does have some subtle differences between them. I do know that if it's a really, really new element that you want to get right away, so it's not going to be on Bricklink because no one's parted it out.
Yeah.
That replacement service, they show up there first. As far I mean, I don't know if that's true, but in my mind, I think that's what I've noticed.
It is. That's exactly what happens.
Order for that includes a lot of the new bricks, like the half round 2x2 brick, and there's a new like pointed curved slope thing. Anyway, and like water tube.
It's a habit trail.
I want to make a complex habit trail.
The Pick-a-Brick like online too. So like I said, I always check there first, and I sometimes find brand new parts there. In fact, I just had to order some for the set that I built for my mom. I was able to get like 99% of the pieces through Bricklink, and then there were a couple of pieces that were in a brand new like Brickhead set that weren't on Bricklink yet, and those I went through the Lego TrickyBrick to get those.
Yeah,
I do want to make a slight note of something that so we can't talk about this openly on YouTube, but if you join a larger recognized lug,
yes, exactly what I was thinking.
There are mechanisms in place to get you a high volume of elements, but until you're a member of the lug, it's something that's not supposed to be publicly discussed. But I do want to advertise the fact that if you do have a larger lug and you join it, there are element benefits that come with those lugs.
Yeah.
I'd like to say.
Lugs is we don't talk about the lugs.
Well,
Only occasionally too. I think there used to be a lot more perks than there are now, and
Yeah.
now there's only like biannual or something.
Once a year.
But still, I think, and now especially with everyone staying home and not being able to go to meetings and us sort of having to wait a little bit for conventions, I think lugs need people's support, and there are good benefits to the collector and the AFOL and the TFOL and users of bricks. There are major benefits to being a member of a lug.
Yeah, I mean, just the exchange of ideas alone is worth, the whatever, like, $5 it costs for a year to be a member.
Yeah,
or what
and
have you.
Lego likes lugs.
Yes.
Yeah, I would also say, as far as the element stuff, a lot of every meeting we're swapping elements. We're horse trading stuff.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
And it's a lot more economical. And then another thing is, we have a chat messaging group, and so if one member is used to be in the Lego store, they would take pictures of the PAB wall and send it out whenever there's a swap. So
Oh,
Yay.
wanted. Also, if anybody ever finds a deep discount or clearance item at any store, they'll take a photograph and send it out. And, if it's a weird place like Kohl's that you never would have thought of here in the U.S., I mean, you can have 5 people immediately driving to like that Kohl's because they were clearing it out and is a set that someone wanted.
Now I will
so
say
the discussion part of the stuff that happens.
Yeah, I will say the downside. So, like, definitely finding stuff on clearance at like a Walmart or one of those places is a great way to pick up just sets and to get a general kind of parts. I will say one of the things that I find frustrating is that I'll be on, I'm a member of a lot of Lego groups on Facebook, and I'm sure you've all seen this, but you get somebody who, like, takes a picture of they just went to Walmart and bought out every single clearance set that they had, and now they're going to part it all out and put it on Bricklink. And it's a weird, like, yes, you should be able to make your money if you got your Bricklink store, you need to do that, but at the same time, that's like, like maybe somebody else needed that set, not even just a collector, like maybe somebody wanted to go buy it for their kid on clearance because they couldn't afford it otherwise.
Yeah, that's an ongoing discussion. I know there's always talk of that, like on the Black Friday deals too. You see the grown-ass man with the big cart, full to the brim of every Black Friday special set that they had, in the store. And that's, I'm
torn on that. I mean, I think the right thing to do is to leave some meat on the bone. I mean, like take 50%, but at least leave at least 6 or 7 sets out there for people.
Well, that's interesting because that was something that we ran into on Lego Masters. Because even though, like, you hear we had every brick on the planet, which is like, no, that's not a
possible
thing. But there were, factually there were limited amounts of parts, and we've talked about this plenty. Like with what happened to our bridge, because there were no plates left by the time we got there. There were a limited amount of things, and so.
But most people played fair, right?
Oh, everyone did, and I don't.
Well, I don't mean that I don't mean that anyone played unfair, but we all were. We had good reason to make sure we had the bricks we needed to build our things, but everyone played fair.
Right, and then we ended up, and when you're in a situation like that, you don't know how many you're going to need of something, so you just you start grabbing handfuls. But there are 2 reasons that we started, just like we all kind of made an agreement amongst ourselves that, like, if you're going to take something, at least leave 4 or 5 left, and if you get in there and there's only 4 or 5 left, leave one so that at least the people who are putting the bricks away know what was in that drawer, and that we make sure that everything gets put back to where it's supposed to be, that we know where it is.
Yeah, because they were restocking all day long.
Yeah, it was, but, you know, at the same time, I could walk over to somebody else's table and be like, do y'all have any blah, blah, blah? And if they had it and they weren't using it, they're like, yeah, just take whatever you need. So...
Yeah, this is one thing I learned about from going to Scarebook for a couple of years, too. I mean, I know it doesn't look like we'll get to go this year, but let's just assume everything is exactly put off 1 year. So we all are in Scarebook next year.
We will be.
I know there's talk of they have been in the past doing a perk that allows attendees to go to the LEGO employee store. It's never guaranteed, but it is something that they have been doing in the past. And I learned the hard way, like the first year, because people will line up Monday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning or something to try and be the first people into the store. But for people flying overseas, there's no point, because there's so many like Bricklink resellers there that are at the front of the line that come with like big old like cargo vans and stuff, and they are ready to buy all the biggest sets, and pack their vans full. And so that's like the first, hour of the line are the resellers.
Got it.
Well, I'm surprised they wouldn't put some kind of limit.
They do. But it's a pretty large limit, and then they come in groups, and so they kind of, it seems like they sort of band together, or I don't know. They have figured the system out, and so I learned like not to even try to compete with that. So I am perfectly fine. Like by Monday morning, when you're ready to leave, chances are your luggage is already like bursting. Well, I'm fine with like the table scrap poly bags or whatever left at that point.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I don't kill myself to try and compete with that in that situation. But I find that carries over through all aspects of the AFOL community, is that you have some people who are builders and some people who are collectors, and then you have the people that are sellers, and that's, it's a completely different mentality.
Yeah, totally.
I was talking about like estate sales and stuff. I did antique picking for a while, and it's very much that same mindset of a picker, right? A picker is going to find the right stuff at the right price, and then the resale market is going to take it from that point onward.
Yeah. Something... Okay, Lego can be costly, right? So we're always looking for... Yeah, I know, it can. It can.
It's expensive? When did that happen?
I try to be a little Tommy about it, But one thing I love as a collector, as an AFOL, is the treasure hunt. I really do. And I'm just going to, I don't know how long we're going to have to wait, but conventions are coming back, and picking bulk brick are coming back. We may just have to wait. Who knows?
That one might be a little longer.
Well, it may change, but I'm going to assume for a moment that we're going to be able to select our own pieces. And one thing I just love at a convention or at a lug meeting is when you're making that search, right? And you've got that piece that you need. And for me, it's different than just like filling in, not that there's anything wrong with that, check boxes on eBay or whatever. I love the treasure hunt. And then people are like throwing pink bricks at Flynn, and like I found
because I asked for them, not because they're like making me leave. Just just that thing about it, and I know we're all missing that now, but I mean, what about the treasure hunt aspect of finding these wonderful things?
Well, that's a great relevant topic, because when I think about treasure hunts, I think about Bricks and Minifigures, which is usually a licensed store, but they're usually family owned and they're local.
Yeah.
So if you guys go out and you search on Google Maps, and if you have a Bricks and Minifigures store near you, now don't do this in a COVID situation, okay? I want to say very safe, because what they do is they dump bulk brick and elements into these tables, and you can search through like the treasure hunt and find what you enjoy and put them into a volume, and then they charge for that set volume. And there's other things they have going on in that store, but it's very much a way that you can also meet other AFOLs in your community that you wouldn't have realized. I think that's how Mark
and Boone met.
Bricks and Minifigs, but when it's safe and it's appropriate, our two Bricks and Minifigs are opening up. That is that treasure hunt aspect, if you're fortunate enough to have one around you.
I will say, however, and this is not disparaging them at all as a place, because I've found tons of great stuff there, but they do tend to be pricier than the $10 a
It's a
pound.
retail location, and they're trying to make a living.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're also paying a premium for being able to pick your parts.
Exactly, and again,
Craigslist, you're going to get like 25% mega blocks or whatever when you pay by the pound.
no, and again, I'm not disparaging them and like their business model. I'm just saying, for the average person who's like, how can I get the most for my money? That might not be your most economical choice. That's all I'm saying.
I go through it. I will not buy your basic brick and plates. Okay, this is going after like if you want 1 million construction elements and you know that Bionicle is not easy to find.
Yeah.
That is a good use of it. Or
Absolutely.
you talk about Fabulite. If you're really into translucent, sparkly elements and you want to go through there and find these rare elements or electronic pieces, then this might be your jam. But yeah, make sure you're be focused and disciplined when you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Craigslist has been a treasure hunt for us. Like, we will drive so far and, like, 15
minutes is really fun.
Well, okay, I mean, but you're going and you're meeting someone and they're like, oh, this is my, kid's collection, and he's buying an electric guitar now and he doesn't want it anymore. And I don't know, and then you open the box and
you're like, what's in here?
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Actually, some of my most fond, memories of like secondhand purchasing are definitely through Craigslist, because I do enjoy like meeting strangers and exactly that situation. Like, I do enjoy that, and I have found a couple of really good things, but I still have to do it specifically. It's like when I'm looking for something specific, or I know what I'm buying, like if it's a certain set or something like that, I enjoy it much more. Like, definitely the best finds that I've ever found have been through Craigslist, but I don't do bulk anymore because I've been burned too many times getting bulk of just nasty brick with like knockoffs and stuff in there, and the time it takes to go through and sift them,
Yeah.
clean them. I can't do that anymore. But it's not worth it. But buying sets through Craigslist it's harder now though.
Yeah, it is.
It is harder.
Well, I will say this, like with Craigslist and Facebook and the Facebook Marketplace and that kind of thing, or actually any of these methods that we're talking about, with the exception of the online methods, if you make friends with the people who are selling, whether it's in a store or whether it's I have a guy. I have a guy. I have a guy on Craigslist that I shop with regularly because he always has stuff. He sorts it out. And I've been to him enough now that he said to me, like, I haven't seen him in a long time, but the last time I did see him, he was like, "What if you need something specific? Like, if you just want animals, call me and I'll pre-pick you a bag of animals before you come over."
I want that.
I've been to.
I want that.
Yeah, like we go to our local Lego store and do pick a brick wall enough that when we were looking for, I think we talked about this the other day, we were looking for brown 2x4 bricks off the wall, and we were stacking them to fit in the cup, like you see on the internet, like how many can you cram in a cup? And then she came over and she was like, "Oh, hey, I didn't know you guys were here." I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How many bricks are fitting in there?" And we told her, and she was like, "Well, just take a bag and just throw that number in and let me know how many."
She brought boxes of brick out.
Oh, the K box.
Yeah. So, and it's always, of course, always be kind to your retail workers. Always, as a rule.
Definitely, like, being nice, I think really helps you go a long way with Lego purchasing. As a matter of ethics, I have noticed another thing buying secondhand. There's a couple of people I have bought from, like, not knowing that I was buying from the same person, but after buying something secondhand from the same person a couple of times, I actually started getting a little suspicious that, like, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So if somebody's buying, like, a brand new, just released set for, like, half price, it's either stolen, or pieces are missing, or there's just some shady business there that I try to avoid. Like, even if I still come out ahead, like, I think there were one or two sets that checked out to be totally fine, so then I could just only assume that they were stolen or something. And I just don't like that. I don't like I don't like having that hunch that, like, I'm buying stolen goods. So
yeah,
Well,
Right.
it breaks the community.
Well, I mean, you gotta, and you definitely like that. I mean, that is true, right? If you're gonna go on Craigslist or some place like that, it's like with caution, right?
Yeah.
Like, use your best instincts, and like just like Holly said, if something looks like it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. That Facebook ad offering the half price UCS Millennium Falcon is not offering a half price Millennium
A
Falcon.
friend of mine just texted me yesterday asking if there was a website that was legit, and I only had to see where it was like 70% off the Hogwarts Castle to say like that's totally not legit. And then it took.
Yeah.
No, but they have a full image. It doesn't say like it's
I know.
Lego, and all that. But then you look at the description and it says right there that it's like quality knockoff. I was like,
Yeah.
he was like, oh, I just didn't realize like that people would be so brazen. I was like, they're these like Chinese companies that for every one that gets shut down, another one opens. They can't be stopped. So yes, proceed with caution.
So,
I will also say, you brought up something in my mind, which was, I'm not afraid to let my coworkers and friends know that I'm an AFOL, and it's really paid off.
yay!
Oh yes.
Because I was at work and I had Lego sets on display at my desk. I had them up, and so one of the people, he stopped by and he's like, I had these for my nephews, but they no longer come over. Here's this ad. Would you like that? I'm like, yes, please, and thank you. What do I owe you? He's like, I just want to get rid of it. Like,
Yay!
Yeah.
all right, I'll take it.
Worked at my workplace.
No.
No.
Smith, he has a coworker who's always on Facebook Marketplace, and they know that he loves Lego. So whenever there's this great Lego deal on Facebook Marketplace, they send him the link. So yeah, talking to you, Flynn, the reason it came up is if you do grow a network of people who aren't into Lego, but they know how passionate and how much you love it, it doesn't hurt that they can start sending you tips or tricks, or you build these relationships, and it just grows your network where you have kind of free labor or tips coming your way.
Right.
Yeah,
Well-
fun story. You guys know Kelly, right? Kelly from Ladies Who Lego.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we live in the same town, right? Well, not only do we live in the same town, our kids happen to have gone to the same preschool. And so we actually met long before we met. Like, we met in passing at the kids' preschool, and I think I was wearing one of my Lego t-shirts, and Kelly made a comment about it, like, oh, you're one of those. And
That sounds like what she would say.
totally. And we had this sort of like, we were like in the middle of like picking up kids, so we didn't really get to have like a long discussion, but it was kind of this initial conversation that we recognized each other as AFOLs, but I was at the time still like very closeted and not like sure about other AFOLs.
So you wore a shirt as a secret code.
We know all about that.
It was like my own thing, but then I was like all of a sudden really uncomfortable when somebody else recognized what it was. So, no, we just had this like quick exchange where we recognized each other, and then we didn't really see each other much, and our kids were different ages, so our paths didn't cross a whole lot. But then I think it wasn't long after that I ended up at a love meeting where we were introduced, and we were like, oh, hey, yeah, you. So it's kind of fun that and now our kids are like good friends, and it's been we're very tight now, so I think it's kind of funny.
Awesome.
Blair says Lego flagging.
Exactly.
Flagging Lego.
I know that we're getting toward 30 after. Do you mind if I just touch on the Goodwill thing?
No,
No,
please.
not at all.
Liz, I know. I mean, this is what we're talking about. So yeah, tell us more.
Okay, so because I know the world of thrift, I'm going to break some knowledge for the people here in the U.S. So Goodwill Industries, when you donate to Goodwill Industries, a large part of the time, if it's a high-value item or items in good condition, they go to a central facility and they get processed, and then they get sent back out to the Goodwill stores themselves, okay? So if you're in a larger urban area or near a larger place, there are centralized locations where all the Goodwill stores ship the donations together to one place, they process it, and then they send it back out. Because of that model, a lot of the higher value stuff, like Lego, does not go back out into the retail store. Okay, it gets set aside, and there is a place called shopgoodwill.com. It winds up on shopgoodwill.com, And the reason Goodwill does that is they operate, they're like a very corporate version of a thrift store, okay? So their mindset is they want to maximize the value of every donation, okay? The way they do that is shopgoodwill.com is like an eBay bidding process of Goodwill items. So if you go to that site, all of the great Lego donations and a lot of the sets and things that have been damaged, that may be incomplete or partial, are processed at the central facilities, and then they're listed on that website, and then you bid for them. Now, if you are interested in getting poundage and you live in a rural area, you don't have access to all other stuff we talked about, going through those listings and understanding the handling fees and the shipping fees, because each Goodwill facility is different. Some of the facilities sort all the figs out and sell them separately. Some of them, which is not cool, but it's done. But if you just don't bid, but look at items you're interested in, if you create an account and just look at them and you see what they sold for, it's a great way to either get a lot of bulk for a decent price, usually around $5 a pound plus the shipping. Also, that's how I got my really great vintage collectible sets. That's how I got my Black Seas Barracuda, was through 2 different orders that came together as one complete. The original Castle in box, I got that way. Now I was bidding a premium, but compared to Bricklink, it came in under the Bricklink prices by a good margin.
Interesting.
So yeah, a lot of people don't know about shopgoodwill.com, and they don't realize that if they're doing thrift stores, you're not going to see a lot of Lego if you're doing the Goodwill retail experience, if you live in an area that does essential processing. So I just wanted to peel that little piece of the thrift store back.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
There's one I wanted to touch on before we go to.
Yeah, well, I have one as well.
Okay.
Just also, I was just going to say, another thing to do is keeping your eyes peeled. Like, just keep an eye out, like, for stuff. You know how, once you start getting into something, then you see it everywhere. So I'll just tell you that, like, when we were at Bricks LA, we did we were just like going through this little like mall, like outdoor mini mall, like right across the street from the convention center, and there was just like literally a paper sign that somebody had written that says Lego on sale,
like Sharpie stuck on there,
and we were like, okay, I'll take a chance, we'll go. And they had some newer sets that looked all right. Well, then it turned out that like in the back they had 2 giant crates, and I mean giant, like person-sized crates, full of Lego sets that had been returned to the store for whatever reason, and the boxes were beat up or whatever, and they were selling them for a song. Like, I've got full sets, and the only reason that they were so cheap was because the box was damaged. And so I ended up spending, I don't know, like, I spent a certain amount of money and ended up getting at least 2 to 3 times what I spent in stuff. So
that was also a case of being nice to the person at the register, right?
Oh yeah, we were nice to the person at the register, and she really liked us, and she was like, oh well, I've got more back here. See, it's like, be nice to your retail workers, and I'm not saying don't just selfishly be nice to your retail workers because you want something out of them. Be nice to them because they deserve it, especially right now. Be nice to your retail workers.
Yeah. Nice to everybody.
Yes. Of course.
Right.
I do feel like having been a retail worker, I feel like retail workers get the crap end of it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the great things. I mean, I know that people who work at Lego stores probably deal with their fair share of annoying stuff, but also too, it's every Lego store I've always been to, the employees always seem genuinely happy to be there and happy to help. Like, that's one thing I love about going into a Lego store.
Well, they play well. I mean, surprise.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I'd like to touch on that we don't talk about very, very much. I mean, since everyone started staying home, we've had this show, and at the end of the show, we almost always say, stay safe, wash your hands, Well, Lego is a medium where people use their hands. And lots of people who have Lego in their house also have small children who put Lego in their mouth. And we're talking about getting used Lego. So what I'm wondering is, during this time, before we can forget about all of this and go back to everything normal, what are you doing if you get used brick? Do you quarantine it? Do you wash it? What do you think? I mean, I just want to say, like this is a very lighthearted show, and we also want everyone to be safe.
Right.
I mean, I was a germaphobe long before all this.
Me too.
I know exactly what you mean. And again, going back to why it's almost not worth it for me to deal with secondhand brick, because that's some nasty business, let me tell you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I have found there are horror stories like on AFOLs of Facebook and other places where you can read about all the things people have found in bulk beds, and it's gross. So for me, back when I needed a lot of bulk brick, and I just am trying to convince myself I don't anymore, I would do the mesh bag and the dishwasher system. So I would just basically pick out with gloves, put your gloves on,
Yeah.
get in there and pick out like parts that have stickers and things like that. That stuff I just put in its own container. So I still have a container full of like sticker bricks that I don't think I've ever like touched. Otherwise, they just go into this. You can call it quarantine, but they've been there for years.
Well, I just never wanted to get a cold, right?
Yeah,
is the
they're
reason.
still there just in case I need that one part with the sticker, but they've pretty much just sat there in this one bin for years. And then the rest of them I put in one of those laundry mesh bags and check for holes and everything, but they seem fine. And then I just put them on the top rack of my dishwasher and put it on a sanitary cycle. And then I dump them all out on those drying mats. You know?
With no heat, right? No heat.
No
Yeah.
heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When
it.
you get out, guys, you're gonna melt the brick.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's just the type of dishwasher we have or whatever. Maybe doesn't get hot enough or something. But I haven't had any issues with melting them or any.
And isn't it nice when they're clean? And I'll shut up, I'm sorry. But I love when they come out and they're finally dry about a year later. How nice they are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about I don't like putting things in the dishwasher and I've heard some people putting them in the washing machine, and I just cringe. Mostly because the noise.
It's like a rock tumbler, don't do that.
Yeah, the noise would be horrible. But so the way we've always done it is now we're lucky enough to have a double sink, so we can do more than regular. Is like I just take a big colander, I dump everything in the big colander, I fill the sink up with soapy water, I swish it around and let it sit in the soapy water for a while, and then I just pull the colander out, drain the water, and then do the same thing with rinse, and then put it out onto a towel. And what I found
in the sun, right?
is
or outside.
Like outside. But what I found is great is once you wrap it up in the towel, you can get a lot of water out of it just by shaking it. Like you shake up that towel, and a lot of that water will come out, and then and then I just lay it out outside. Hopefully not directly in the sun.
Well, we don't expose it to sun for a long time.
Yeah, same thing. A bucket, Dawn dishwashing liquid. I rely on that for cleaning so many things.
Grease cutting, right?
Yeah, I would say mine's. So I'm going to get into how to clean brick if it's discolored. A 1 and 2 combo move here. So if you have sun bleached or discolored brick, the way you brighten it back to white is you put your brick in a tub of OxyClean, because it's hydrogen peroxide. And so hydrogen peroxide and UV sunlight or UV radiation will take the yellow out and it'll recolor the brick if it can be, but it will also sterilize it. So I figured, why not do a 1-2 combo move? And I just have a big Sterilite container outside. And being in Denver, being a mile high, the UV radiation here it cooks everything. But yeah, it's the same idea that you guys have, only I'm using OxyClean, because it will have that bleaching effect on anything that's been yellowed or discolored, and at least it'll try to return the color back.
Oh,
And
that's a good idea.
Does that work for
if you
all
don't
colors? Sorry,
If
Kara.
you don't have a lot of sunlight and UV, like out here, put a piece of foil on the bottom of your dish to help reflect the sun back up.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
on the bottom of the container's a reflector, or you could do bounce patterns and all that stuff. But for us, we're a high desert plain environment, so it's not a big deal.
Are there any colors that's bad for?
I wouldn't know. But I did want to mention that Fabi Fan MKE mentioned that a salad spinner gets a lot of water off brick, and actually we have done that before. Ooh. So if you are working with if you're working with like the sieve and sink method, dump it in that salad spinner and just give it a go, and you get a lot of it out. It's a good yeah. It's good. Yeah, that was something I wanted to mention. As Blair Archer was saying, sun damage takes quite a long time. Yeah. And I know people who are like, I can't even, I wouldn't ever leave my Lego out in the sun for not even 5 minutes. And it's like, but it does take a fair amount of time.
Guys, it takes a lot of exposure. I mean, so if I set a set out in our old house without the UV coating on it, it would take a year, like a full year in direct sunlight under Denver conditions. I mean, it's really hardcore stuff. Yeah, it takes a long time to bleach. I mean, don't like kids. You can't play with that outside because it's gonna. I mean, no. Yeah. ABS is pretty tough stuff. It takes quite a beating. So
Cornado is saying that he soaks the white pieces in peroxide for a week, and then
and that's what I meant. Yeah. So OxyClean is just a cheaper way to get your access to peroxide.
Okay.
Peroxide is a component of OxyClean, so it's the same idea. Yeah, same concept.
Well, and then Richard was asking, is there any colors that's not good for? Because, like, I know I have a couple of these, like, medium blue, that like I call it Cinderella blue, that have some sun damage. And, like, is it going to make it too weird? Is it going to bleach that color out? Like, how does that work?
Peroxide is an oxidizer, so it will make your plastic brittle. It will start to etch and eat away chemically at it. You are bleaching it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't like to leave it out for more than 30 minutes or an hour.
Okay.
But it won't change colors.
What was that?
It won't take a saturated or pastel color and try and make it white, though, right? Like, hopefully the idea is it comes back to its true color.
You have to really, I mean, I'm not going to say no. If you put it in OxyClean for a week or two, maybe, I don't know, but.
Got it.
Also, I've heard. So there's also there's slight acidic or basic chemicals that are used for home brewing that you use to sterilize the containers. That stuff, 5 minutes of that, man, any grease that's on that thing is going to get vaporized.
Maybe gloves,
gross.
Right?
Grease,
maybe some gloves.
Grease,
but no,
and
you're getting into some stuff that I wouldn't advise you get into.
Yeah, grease and gum, and screws, pins, thumbtacks.
Yeah, that's more like for Bricklink stores that are working at industrial scale. For at home, I really say dish soap is really popular. The dishware method works great.
Yep.
If you buy oodles of pounders like me, then you're getting into like the OxyClean territory, maybe. But I would say Holly's advice to wear gloves.
Yeah.
Don't wear like rubber gloves. I'm talking you need like stuff that you're not going to cut your hand if you hit glass.
Dish gloves.
Right.
There are things mixed in there that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. Our first bulk buy was a nightmare because whoever had sold it had put it in these scented garbage bags. And the garbage bags had a chemical, so everything was like sticky and smelled.
Yeah, they were like weird, greasy, and then it smelled so bad. That horrible, overwhelming perfume of a scented garbage bag. Like it's like no smell in nature.
So that's when we wanted to sort it all, but we had to wash it all and dry it, and it was 20 pounds.
Your Snake Queen set also had a smell-o-vision associated with it. Right?
Hopefully, all that's gone by now.
Yes.
Glove and mask. So just get used to keeping those on.
Yeah.
And that's not just these days, right? That's kind of.
Yeah.
You will find things that can't be unseen at times in some of these bulk bins, but it's the whole thing of quality versus cost. You're going to sacrifice certain things in order to get other things.
Well, quality was something that I wanted to talk about actually for a second. So just know that if you buy something off of like Craigslist or something like that, the possibility of receiving a fair amount of bricks that are too scratched up to use, or at least use where they can be seen, is a definite thing. And if you really want to make sure that your mock is like super shiny, new, brand new, then that's when you need to go to Bricks and Pieces or Pick a Brick, or look for people on Bricklink who are selling new. Although even though people on Bricklink, though, I know a lot of people will often put up something where they say like it has light playware, or you can oftentimes get used that's just as good as new.
Yeah, that's another thing I learned the hard way because my Coraline house required a lot of white parts, and I made that mistake not caring if they were used or new, and so yeah, like half the pieces were all yellowed and gross, and so I did learn from then on that when I'm making a want list that I go in specifically for all my white pieces and change those to new condition only, so that when something shows up on my want list or an alert, it's always only new.
On the other hand, we actually we really like the faded and discolored older bricks, because when we're putting together a building or something, it looks a lot more natural to have some variation in tone.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even the really old, my husband is, whenever we're going through bulk piles, is always looking for those old, foggy, trans-clear bricks, because they're great for like a rundown warehouse or something.
I like the old gray for that same reason.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just because it may initially look kind of ugly, they still have a use.
Yeah, our friend.
We'll take them on your hands.
You need any old white? I have it in surplus.
Us too.
Yeah, I was going to say Samsung and all that stuff too. And if anybody ever looks at my Flickr pictures really closely, you are going to see
Bye, Blair.
a lot of used brick and stuff in there. Oh, he was saying hi to somebody.
No, I was saying goodbye to Blair, who popped into the chat, and he's off to do Father's Day things. Happy Father's Day, Blair. We missed you here today. Sorry.
You will see, like, on one of my spaceships where I was learning snot work, the wings, I built a lot of white, but the white wings are not pure white. It's obviously been, a lot of it came from thrift store sources, so it does have that, it kind of almost looks like the space shuttles when they were aging out of the fleet.
Yep.
Do you remember looking at the space shuttles and the tiles were kind of all slightly different colors after a while?
Yeah. Dinged from space rocks. And
A Lego patina.
Well, I mean,
Lego patina, exactly. That's what they look like. Yeah.
well, I mean, especially if
I
you're.
liked it because it's like you can tell it's not a Lego digital model. You can really see gravity bending the wings slightly, things like that. So you could really tell it was a real model.
Well, and if you're working on something where you need a enormous amount of one color of brick, like you can probably see a little bit behind Richard, but there's a brown project we've been working on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is like you have to give up like if you need thousands of a certain color of brick, you at a certain point have to be okay with mixing new and old bricks, because you will go broke if you try to do it all with new bricks. And it'll never look right if you try to do it all with old bricks. And I do find that, like, we're trying to make something that looks like, wood.
Carved wood.
And
right.
so it definitely adds to it when we find some of those older brown pieces that have they're slightly darker, and you dot them in here and there, and it really does make a huge difference in it being like one solid, screen of brown.
You're right. Just like new and old gray, there's new and old brown.
Yeah.
People who didn't know. Yeah, they transitioned to a red brown off of a yellow brown.
And gray as well.
Cornado makes a really good point that if the chemical is too harsh to use on plastic, maybe you should be staying away from it anyway.
Don't use like paint strip or acetone. I mean, guys, there's certain points you just don't want to get into. Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Oh, so somebody was.
Crackle effect working for your browns.
Yes. Well, that's easy. So, Cornado was just saying the reddish-brown curse is a whole other topic. I mean, we can touch on it quickly.
Bronze. By the way, the bronze brittle lightsabers, that is a serious problem, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
The older reddish-brown bricks, dark red and dark brown, have a real problem with breaking, especially plates. Like if you've got a brown plate on something, I can't tell you how many times I've lifted it up and the end of the plate is left behind.
One by end.
So if you are working with that older, and I know that they've since fixed it, but if you're working with some of those older browns, definitely be gentle when you're taking it apart if you want to continue having those.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, like if I put a Samsonite brick down, that old acetate, it's like, it's there.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Nope.
So, golly, well, I think that's, we're almost at 2 hours, so I think it's probably time to get going, but I am so glad that we got to talk about this today, and it was funny because I woke up this morning and I was like, I like having the generic days where we just like talk about whatever, but also it's fun to have something to talk about. And I went back and forth on how to present it. Like, how does it, how do you make this sound not boring?
Well, I think by having multiple people who are fascinating talk about it, like
right.
you guys have so much experience.
Well, and also I think it's important too because we as AFOLs and people who've worked with a lot and go to a lot of conventions and go to a lot of stores and use Bricklink a lot. To us, this is just like, oh, well, of course you would go to Bricklink, or of course you would go to Bricks and Pieces. But there's a lot of people out there, especially those who are just set buyers, who don't even know that whole world exists. Or if they do, they've only ever used like just Bricklink and not the other things. So I was really...
learning too. I still
If you want to have a highly controversial episode,
Holly.
you should talk about how do you sort your Lego, and I can guarantee.
Oh, we'll that's another one we're
We'll
gonna
get
do.
there.
But what was that you were saying, Holly? I missed.
ready for that. We're not ready.
No one's ever ready for that. It's been,
A
yeah.
while longer.
Sorry, what were you saying, Holly? I missed the the last thing you said before that.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying that I think even people I guess that have been doing it for a while, I'm still finding like tips and tricks and new ways to find bricks and filter them and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And always discovering new pieces. It's so much fun.
It's part of it's central to the hobby, I think.
And if you are a person who is interested in new pieces specifically, like new elements, you definitely need to check out newelementary.com. It's a fantastic site. That's what they do. They traffic in, like, talking about new parts and what's available. And actually, Eric, TrickyBricks, does write for them sometimes about interesting minifig parts. And like I was saying, like, I found a brand new element in this hidden side truck, fire truck that I was working on. And it was so exciting. It was just like, I would have never, I had no idea. And because I found it in the set and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. What a very useful part. And then I went and looked it up on BrickSet, and it was like only appears in 2 sets. And the 2 sets are the 2 hidden side vehicles from this wave of hidden side sets. The only 2 sets it comes in. So, yeah.
And it comes in 3 colors, and it's on Pick-a-Brick.
Yes.
It's on Bricks and Pieces right now.
But
Flynn, I wanted to say just
Unique element flex.
yeah, I know.
in the chat, I think there was a question about our project we were working on. Is there anything we can say about it at this point?
It's a clock, somehow
Yeah.
non-surprisingly. Although I will say we started work on it long before LEGO Masters.
Yeah,
And it will be spooky. That's all I'm going to give you.
and complicated.
And complicated.
Spooky.
So basically,
Yeah.
TrickyBricks.
What?
In fact, it will
A
have.
clock, spooky, and complicated. And takes a really long time to build.
Yeah, and it'll actually complicated is the precise right word because the more things you add to a clock are called complications.
It's true.
Yep.
I think we like to use the term feature creep.
Yeah, that's what happens at the beginning of all of our streams. Feature creep. Like you keep talking, and like, oh wait, it's sticker time. Oh wait, now it's
going to look like the Dark Crystal with the Grand Conjunction with all the planetary gears like flying everywhere. There's going to be puppets involved. There's going to be like various machinations, things going down.
it's a whole thing.
Yep.
It's the whole thing.
But anyway, just wanted to say thank you so much to all of our panelists for joining us today and talking about what I have found to be a really interesting conversation. I learned things that I didn't know. Hopefully everybody out there learned at least one thing that they didn't know before they showed up today.
Look, I took notes.
Even if that thing that they learned is that we talk a lot. But I hope that you learned something today. Don't forget to work on your micro build challenge, which is due on Thursday, and this is your getting to be your last chance to email me if you want a copy of the Street Sweeper kit so that you can start. You can join in on the challenge that will be starting next Friday.
Yep.
So yes. Oh, and Cornado said, "What's the garage sale site again?" I believe it's called Yard Sale Treasure Map. Is that right, Michael?
It's not a website. I found it as a mobile app for Android, but it might exist for iPhone. I don't know.
Got it.
It's called Yard Sale Treasure Map.
I'm getting it too, Cara.
What
Excellent.
it basically does is it's an app that just uses Craigslist data within the garage and estate sale location and then overlays it into Google Maps.
Got it.
Yeah, so you could use Craigslist and filter. It's just having that stuff placed on a map and then the keywords. You could also say, I want this to be stop number 1, stop number 2, 3. So you can actually construct a garage sale path through Google Maps
goodness.
on your day.
I want a
it's really
treasure
intense.
map.
I'm just going to try it out. It might be for you. It might not be for you.
But
Yard sale treasure map.
Yep.
well, so and I also wanted to say, please don't forget to join us tomorrow at 10 o'clock, where we're going to be doing the second part of our landscaping basics class, if you want to call it that.
There's a safety thing. Be very wary of garage sales right now because, like we said, with COVID going around,
Yes.
the distancing it's I classify as higher risk. I wouldn't do it right now, but when the time's right, it's something you might want to look at.
Absolutely.
There is an iPhone app, by the way.
Oh, good.
I'll be downloading it.
So, but yeah.
Yard sale treasure map, and it's officially licensed by Craigslist. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
All right, so anyway, yes, thank you, everybody. Please do join us tomorrow for our landscaping basics. Our second part, we'll be doing water, trees,
And tall rock structures.
right, and tall rock faces for making stuff like waterfalls or something like that. So, yeah, please join us tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope that you're having an awesome day. Build something fun. Moto, that goes for you too. And yeah, so thanks everybody, and we will see you tomorrow at 10. Don't forget to stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, wear your mask, and we will see you next time. Bye everybody.
Everyone.